going on? What's going on? You're late.
It's popping, yeah. Let's get it.
Right there. Fix that chain for me.
My bad. Go ahead, mic me up.
How's that feel? Good?
Good.
All right. I got my guy, Jeremias
What up,
Jimenez
what up?
here. I got some questions I got written down. He's going to try to answer to the best of his ability. And me, myself, I'm a fan, and I've been listening for quite some time now.
Yeah,
but
you get the exclusives.
yes, sir. I guess some things that definitely some first listening before everybody else. But
We gotta get you on the opposite side of the camera too, man.
don't
We gotta
worry.
get you at some point. Man.
There's a reason why I'm not right now. I'm not looking my best, but we're gonna get there. But tell me, for the people who don't know who you are yet, who is Jeremias Jimenez and what makes your music different?
All right, so what's up, y'all? I'm an artist, songwriter, producer, director. Everything makes my music different, especially the music that I'm getting ready to give y'all right now. I'm pretty sure you're gonna maybe have some further questions down the line as pertaining to the music itself. But I was born and raised in Massachusetts. I've been writing music since I was 16 years old. And I was part of a music group, like just to maybe give a little bit of background for those of you who don't know me, who haven't heard of me. Again, I was raised in Massachusetts, Boston, Massachusetts. That's the cold. The atmosphere is different. And pretty much I was a writer at that time. I was writing music and pretty much just getting my feet wet in the game. And I was part of a music group called Fame with Juliet. We accomplished a lot during that time. The group itself, we were on BET's 106 in Park. We won the Apollo. We did over 150 shows in and out of the state. We accomplished a lot. We was the intro for Eric Thomas's. I wrote the song. If you ever heard of Eric Thomas, his very first season, we actually wrote the song. It was like the intro to it's called Dreams of Reality. Man, it's been that long. But yeah, I wrote Dreams of Reality for Eric Thomas, and we did that, and the group split up, and now I'm pushing as a solo artist and producer. I actually had to learn to produce when it came to my music now. So for me to say like how the music is sounding, like what makes my music different, everything makes my music different. My music I made sure to develop a sound that hasn't been made yet. And that I'm hoping you guys are going to hear when you hear this project.
All right. Well said, well said. And how long have you been doing music for?
It's been like 15, 16 years, man, 15 years.
All right, so that leads into my next question. You've been doing music for 16 years. That's more than half of my life and half of some people's lives. So tell me, what was the moment you knew this album had to be made?
Man, I spent 2 years in the wilderness. And what I mean by that is completely detaching from the world. I would say quieting down the noise and just trying to develop myself, like trying to really become the best version of myself mentally, physically, and spiritually. And I could say the moment I knew that I needed to make this album, it had to be after my baptism. After I got baptized, I knew I had to create this album. God placed it in my heart to create this album. And I was really able to go through the process and feel things in a completely different way from how I felt before making music. So the experience was amazing. It was supernatural.
Okay. So backtracking a little bit in the Famer Juliet days, how
Yeah.
has your life changed since those days, growing up, being young and touring, to now? And how does that
Well,
reflect in this project?
well, you've seen it, man. You've seen the process. The process has been brutal. Um, it's changed in so many ways, man. Because I had to really look at how life has slowed down, and there was a moment where I started to doubt myself a lot. I really started to doubt myself. I started to lose passion, and I started to really just question things. But as I said, when I completely detached, I also think that it has a lot to do with the current state of the world, what we're listening to and what we're experiencing on a daily basis and what we're going through. As I said, I've been doing it for 15 years. I've been trying to make music for 15 years, and the world's changing around you while you're going after the same goal. So when I could say like what's changed since then, a lot's changed. Like I had to change my way, I had to change who I was and develop myself, because as I said before, I was just a songwriter. I wasn't a producer. I needed to learn how to produce my music. I needed to learn how to make beats. Um, and I needed to level up. At the same time, while I'm learning how to make beats, I didn't want to be mediocre. Anything that I do, my father always told me since I was young, anything that you do, even if you're cleaning toilets, be the best at what you're doing. So I wanted to make sure that when it came down to making the music, making the beats, I didn't want to just give you guys some basic beats. I needed to develop it from the ground up. I needed to make a sound that you've never heard before, so that when you hear it the first time, the impact is just heavy, beaten into you. So when it comes down to the things that have changed over time, I want to say like everything's changed. Spiritually, mentally, physically, I've changed. Musically, I've changed. Lyrically, it's changed. The direction, everything's changed.
All right, so the next question I have written down here is
Yeah.
the title of the album being Let the World Go.
Yeah.
And what does Let the World Go mean to you personally?
Let's go, man. I'm excited for this. So yo, let the world go is exactly what it sounds like. It's completely detaching and finding yourself. Literally, that's what it is. It's completely detaching from the world, detaching from the things that influence you as of right now, getting spiritually connected and growing. For me personally, what that meant for me was really taking a step back from life and focusing on the things that matter most to me, like my relationship with God, reading my Bible more. Um, as I mentioned earlier, getting baptized, cleansing myself, like spiritually, and just really, really connecting and trying to figure out who I am and who I want the world to see me as. So it was like being born again, man. It really was being born again, especially after the baptism. It's like not feeling like I need to be somebody else in order to be relatable or in order to be, I don't know, because I've always considered myself authentic, but as you get older, as you grow and as you age and you go through life, you start to realize things are changing around you while you're changing. You're losing friends, you're losing loved ones, you're losing all types of things. And that's where it really, like, when it dawned on me, I'm like, man, I'm missing something and I don't know what it is. And it wasn't money. I would always go into making more money, like, as the solution. I would always go into, well, maybe if I connect with different women, maybe that was the solution. There was all different types of things that I was looking for, and I came to the realization that it was God. It was that true intimate relationship, and that's what I built with God, and that's what it means to let the world go. It's literally to detach yourself from the world and find out who you really are and what your purpose is.
Amen. Amen. Very well said. So now I got a question
What's up?
for the sound
Yeah.
of the project. I know you said earlier you were raised with this mentality of being the best with everything that you do. So tell me, if you were to describe the sound of this project with one word.
Oh, I was raised on that. I raised you that way, didn't I?
What's that one word?
Yeah, I don't want to describe it in one word. I don't think one word does it justice. But if I had to, supernatural, maybe another word, heavenly, uh, man, uh, yeah, that's it. You said one word, man. I gave you one word.
Yeah, you gave us two words, but you've never been the one to follow the rules.
Yo, nah, you ain't lying. You ain't lying. I'm definitely a rule breaker for sure.
Okay, so this question I have written down is now for the people.
Yeah.
And for the people listening, what do you want them to feel when they hear this album for the first time?
I want people to feel connected. That's I want people to feel connected in every aspect. I want them to feel the pain that I felt. I want them to feel the joy that I felt, or the joy that I feel. I want them to really feel connected. I want them to feel like they have purpose. And most importantly, I want them to believe there's a God.
Okay, so we've both off camera, we've had discussions and we've came to the agreement that this music industry is puppeteered and ran by the enemy. So tell me, how do you
Yeah.
take your spiritual, your Christian music and balance that with the Christian music industry and the worldly music industry?
Balancing it, I wouldn't say balancing it. I think I'd place it like, I think it's just going to stand out from it all as a whole. The music industry itself is, we've had these discussions. Like, the music industry itself, of course, it's ran by evil people. That's no secret, and you're a fool if you don't believe it is. We've been told this for years. But one thing that I will tell people is music, the bits and pieces, the production, the writing, the beats, when it comes together, it creates a tool. And I'm sure you guys have experienced this. Like, I'm sure everybody that's watching right now, you've seen the shift in the atmosphere and what they're giving us. They're giving us garbage. The industry is feeding us garbage. The music that you're listening to every single day, the majority of it is garbage. There's something missing. I know when you're listening to the music, you feel it in your heart. There is something missing. something that used to maybe even in the worldly music, there used to be something there that made you feel some type of way, whether it was sad, whether it was happy, whether it was excited. Something's missing, something's gone, and it's only gotten worse through time. And for those of you that are out in the world that are listening to worldly music and so on, these Christian artists, they can't reach you. And I know why. It's because it's not relatable. And they can't perform on the level that some of the worldly artists can perform. And that's just a reality. I've accepted it. I listen, I gotta be 100% honest. I've listened to some Christian music and it's boring. Or it's them mimicking the sound of the world and they can't do it better than the world. That's why it only feeds Christians. So one big aspect is I needed to find a solution to fix that. My approach needed to be different.
All right, well, that last piece, he says it's definitely a hot take and it's going to ruffle some feathers, as it already has, because it isn't the first time that we've both agreed on why would I listen to a Christian artist when I can go and listen to a Drake, to a J. Cole, when he sounds just like him, but it's a cornier version than a Drake or a J. Cole. So
Yeah.
with that being said, what do you think is missing in hip hop right now, and what are you gonna do to bring it back?
If I could dial it down to something that's missing in hip hop and in rap, soul. That is the best way I could put it. I think the music is soulless. The music that we've been being fed for the last I don't know how many years, but the music that we've been getting is soulless. That's why I can't reach. As I mentioned earlier, music, it's supposed to be able to move you spiritually. It's supposed to be able to reach and speak directly to your soul. And the music that we've been getting now has been like, it's just been poison. So the main thing that I really tried dialing down and focusing on, I'm not going to say tried because I know I accomplished it. And that had a lot to do with my relationship with God and building that relationship and him using me to get a message out to the world, because I know I didn't do it by myself. And I know God's my source. So I could say like how like I'm planning to do this, the sound is different. The lyrics are different. I'm not a preacher, I'm an artist. Those are two separate things. My job is to plant the seed. That's what I'm doing. I'm planting the seed. And God willing, you listen to the music with an open heart and open ears. Like that's what I want the people to have. And I made sure to paint a picture that no one's painted yet. Like I think people are gonna be in shock when they hear this album. Like I really wanted to place you somewhere out of this world with it.
All right, so this next question is
Yeah.
let me see. It's how does this project reflect the current season of life that you're in right now? Even looking back from while you were making it up until this very point, how does it reflect in its entirety? How does this project reflect the season of life that you're in?
When it comes to reflecting the season of life that I'm in, man, like I think it's gonna show you how I feel in general. I feel like I have purpose now. I feel like I found what my purpose is, and I feel like I'm truly in sync with, I'm truly aligned with what God wants me to do on this earth. And I believe that that's something that you may even discover while listening to this project. I pray that you discover while listening to this project what I've discovered. And the truth is, we all need it. We all need God. We're living in we're living in troubling times, and Well, like, bro, like when you look around and you look at people out here, man, like people are in need of something. And again, I think there's a way to send the message. Sometimes it's not what you're saying, it's how you say it. And the truth is, if you don't say it right, the message might not be received. So, something that's extremely important is how you deliver that message. And I believe that I believe that I covered that properly.
Okay. Now, these next few questions are more targeted and directed to the fans. And so this first question I have for you is, if someone is just discovering you, which track should they listen to first and why?
So, um, well, that actually brings me to those of you that see this interview. The first song I'm gonna actually drop is called "Attention Will Kill You," and I feel like it's the perfect song to release first. At first, I didn't, man. It took me a while to come to this conclusion. Like it was. I think one of the most difficult things I've done throughout this time is like trying to figure out what to give people to listen to first because it's important. It's like a hit or miss, man. But I've come to the realization it's not in my hands; it's in God's hands at the end of the day. But "Attention Will Kill You" will be based on how I'm feeling and what I think. Like I think it's the first song people should listen to, and it's because of the message behind it. It's gonna be extremely relatable right off the jump. Like I think people are gonna dial in when you sit there and you hear it. You're gonna be like, okay, this is one. What's he got next? And I think it's gonna open that up. And I made sure to make it catchy, make it relatable, and the production overall, man, like instrumentation. I'm gonna do a little bit of a deep dive into the song itself later down the line. You guys are gonna probably see a video on that. Like there was a lot of specifics behind this one record too that I'm gonna give y'all. So that's the one. That's the one that you guys should listen to first.
Let the World Go, right? That was the one?
No, Attention Will Kill You.
Attention Will Kill You. Okay, so.
Yeah, the title album, the title song, "Let the World Go," because you've heard it. You've heard it a couple of times, and that was the initial one. Good, that's nice you exposing that. But that was the initial one, yo. That was actually the one I was gonna go with as the single, but who knows? That might come second.
All right, so listen, we know there's the number one way for us fans to support you is streaming the project and streaming the album. So
Nah,
what are some other ways that you want us, the fans, the people, to support the album beyond just listening and streaming it?
I'm not gonna dive too deep into the streaming the album, and what I mean by that is we all have music. We all have streaming platforms like Apple Music, Spotify, and so on, but that is not the number one way to support me. Neither is YouTube, although YouTube is at the top of the list. But the number one way to support me is to go to my website, afterawlentertainment.com. I have the album up right now for pre-order. Let the World Go is up for pre-order on afterawlentertainment.com. You could click the link in my bio and you'll be able to download the album that way. That is the best way to support me. Just purchasing things on my website is going to be the best way to support me. But I want you guys to know, like, honestly, everything that I do going forward from this point forward is going to be quality. So when I say like supporting me isn't just about paying me for it isn't just about paying me. Everything that you're purchasing is worth it. What you're paying for is worth it. Everything I make is going to be worth it. The money is going to be used to make the best videos that I can make. It's going to be used to just create true output, not watered down output, which is what I feel like we've been getting. And I'm passionate about it because as somebody who loves music, as somebody who loves art, I feel like we've been getting the bare minimum. We've been getting the bare minimum, the basics.
All right, so my last final question is, what can we expect? You know,
Sure.
clothing, shows. What else do you have other than just the music? The music's gonna be dropping. We got the release date, but other than the project dropping, what else can we expect?
Music videos. Uh, I am working on. I'm working on. Man, I didn't really want to announce this just yet. I'm working on something special, like something that I'm going to be releasing on the site alongside the music, and I'm going to make sure that as I said before, it's quality and it's something that people could take pride in having and owning. So I'm definitely going to be I'm going to be creating that. I'm going to be creating a lot of visual work and all types of things. Like there's going to be a lot for you to get. I don't want to I don't want to expose too many things a little bit too early. I want to be able to I want to be able to focus on the music for right now. I really do. I want to be able to provide you guys with the album. I want you to listen to the album and get you on board with that first before I really provide you with anything else. Not saying that something ain't coming, because something's coming alongside with it, but
Listen, I just want to say it's a pleasure being able to do this interview and ask you these questions. So, if there's anything else, your final, separation from this interview, if you want to just give an outro, just remind the people one more time when the date is, when everything's coming out.
Let the World Go, the album, the official album, Let the World Go, will be dropping November 7th, 2025. November 7th, 2025, Let the World Go will be dropping. If you purchase the pre-order right now on my website, you can get the album. I believe I'm dropping it on my website. You will get the official release of the album by October 25th. So you'll be able to listen to it before anybody else does. I'm also throwing a listening party October 18th. Some of you are going to get information on that. And man, I can't wait to experience this with y'all. Creating this album, I put my heart, I put my soul into it. And I know y'all are going to feel it. Like, I'm super excited, man. It's hard to hold back the excitement. So I'm looking forward to it. Besides that, man, I'm out. Yeah, I'm out of here. Let the World Go. 11/7/25.